marking the fourth such disappearance in the last 30 days. Police are asking anybody with information regarding the whereabouts of Mrs. Armstrong to contact the FBI. Moving on to science news, MIT's astronomy program has announced the discovery of a new pulsar in the Orion constellation. Late last night, students at the prestigious university detected regular pulses of radiation, including radio waves and even visible light, emanating from beyond the Orion Nebula. The discovery of the yet-to-be-named pulsar has been corroborated by both NASA and the European Space Agency, and is theorized to have escaped detection until recently, due in part to interference from the gases and dust in the nebula itself. Scientists speculate, though, that the main reason the pulsar has never been detected before is because it spins in such a way that the beams of radiation emitted from its poles were not pointed toward Earth until recently. The exact distance of the celestial body from Earth is not yet clear, but is estimated to be between. The internet has been flooded with pictures and videos from amateur astronomers across the globe of the newly discovered pulsar PSR J0535-0523 as it flashes sporadically throughout the night. Although most recordings of the phenomenon are taken with specialized equipment, it is possible to see the pulsar through some more powerful telescopes or binoculars. In astronomical terms, it has an apparent magnitude of 5.5, making it just barely visible to the naked eye under optimal conditions. Though the pulsar is emitting vast amounts of radiation in addition to visible light, scientists at NASA have assured the public that Earth is in no danger thanks to the Van Allen belt, the magnetic field that shields us from the majority of cosmic radiation. You can see listener-submitted pictures and videos on WBRD's website at www.
Mira, puta madre, es un Onvi. ¿Lo estás grabando? Sí, sí. Mira, mira, ¿qué lo está haciendo? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué lo hizo? ¿Estás bien? ¿Sí? ¿Qué fue eso? Dios, mira, hay otro.
This message is a broadcast of the emergency alert system. This is not a test. Important information will soon follow. This message is broadcast at the request of the Avondale Police Department. A shelter-in-place warning has been issued for the city of Avondale, effective immediately. As of 2:30 this afternoon, multiple unidentified aircraft have been reported in the skies in and around Avondale. The aircraft are triangular in appearance, vary in size between approximately 800 and 2,000 feet across, and have been observed emitting bright flashes of light at irregular intervals. These flashes of light have been shown to cause mild to moderate burns. The origin, nature, and motives of these aircraft are currently unknown. At this time, all persons receiving this message are ordered to immediately seek shelter inside of the nearest building. Close and cover all doors and windows and seek shelter in a basement or interior room. Do not exit your shelter until the all clear is given or you are ordered to evacuate by civil authorities. To repeat, multiple unidentified aircraft have been spotted in the skies in and around the city of Avondale. A shelter-in-place warning has been issued, effective immediately. Seek shelter inside the nearest building and do not exit until the all clear is given or you are ordered to evacuate by civil authorities. Please remain calm. Your cooperation is appreciated.
Reported hovering over major population centers throughout the world, including Los Angeles, Sydney, Tokyo, Beijing, Moscow, Brasilia, London, Paris, Madrid, and Dubai. As of noon today, the total number of UFOs reported is between 40 and 47, with more expected to appear in the coming days. The FAA has grounded all foreign and domestic flights in the United States, and the National Institute of Health is advising all persons to wear long sleeves, long pants, and eye protection, as flashes of light from the unidentified aircraft have been shown to cause burns to exposed skin, as well as temporary blindness that may become permanent with repeated exposures. Earlier today, the Chinese government deployed a number of drones in an attempt to gather data on these aircraft, but were unsuccessful due to what is believed to be a high-intensity electromagnetic field surrounding the crafts. There have been no reports so far of any UFOs descending below 5,000 feet or of any inhabitants exiting them. Scientists with the U.S. Department of Defense are attempting to establish communications with number of UFOs at this time to be between 500 and 600, with additional crafts detected traveling in the direction of Earth. The Pentagon has announced today that it will be taking over the United States' handling of the situation and treating it as a military matter. WBRD has received exclusive information from an anonymous source within the Pentagon. After numerous failed attempts over the past 72 hours to establish communications with the unknown crafts, the Department of Defense has deployed a number of F-35 fighter jets in an attempt to disable or destroy one of the UFOs currently located over Yellowstone National Park. We go now to our field correspondent, Gordon Rostov, at Yellowstone. Gordon? Thanks, Eli. I'm currently on a mountainside trail overlooking the central portion of the park. There are 4 of the unknown aircrafts currently hovering over the area, and while we don't know which of them will be targeted, we are confident that this is the best vantage point from which to observe the operation. According to our source, contact is expected to be made within the next few minutes. Are there any other people there with you, Gordon? No, Eli, it's just me, my guide, and my radio technician. As you know, all national parks were officially closed last week after several brush fires were started by light emitted from the crafts. I won't say we're trespassing, but... Whoa! Holy hell! What's happening, Gordon? 2 or 3 jets just flew past. It looks like they shot one of the UFOs. There's fire coming out of what appears to be a large hole in the craft, and debris falling to the ground. Is the UFO coming down? No, it's still in the air. We're trying to get a look at the jets through our binoculars and... What? They're circling back. Eli, my guide tells me the jets are circling back, possibly for another attack. Stand by. Holy shit! Did you see that? Gordon? Gordon, what's happening? Eli, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The jets, they've just stopped. Just stopped dead in their tracks, right in midair. The UFO just grabbed them with some beam or something and is just holding them there. I don't believe it. You mean to say they're stuck in some sort of tractor beam? I don't know. I have no idea. 1 second they're all flying past and the next they're stopped dead like a paused video. Oh my god. Oh god, the plane just crushed it. Gordon, what do you mean it crushed it? Did the UFO just crush one of the jets? Like a goddamn beer can, Eli. Just crushed it into a ball and dropped it. Right now we're looking at a... Oh god. It just crushed the other 2. Holy shit. Eli, we're looking at burning balls of metal falling from the sky. Oh god. They're dead. There's no way they're not dead. Maybe we should go now. What? We gotta go, come on. Okay. Eli, my guide's telling me we've gotta go. I'll get back to you. Gordon Rostov, WBRD. Alright. Be safe, Gordon. We're gonna take a commercial break. WBRD, don't go anywhere.
This message is a broadcast of the emergency alert system. This is not a test. Information vital to your safety will soon follow. This message is broadcast at the request of the National Weather Service. A fire warning has been issued for the following cities and townships: Cody, Meeteetse, Livingston, Bosman, Red Lodge, Billings, Silver Gate, Gardner, Grable, Lovell, and Worland. A wildfire originating from Yellowstone National Park has breached fire breaks in the east and northeast sections of the park and is uncontained at this time. It is believed that the fire will continue to travel in these directions until it can be contained. At this time, all persons receiving this message are ordered to evacuate immediately. Do not delay. Emergency services may not be available to assist you in the event of an emergency. Do not attempt to retrieve loved ones from hospitals, daycares, or nursing homes. These institutions have protocols in place to evacuate their patients in the event of an emergency. Be aware that smoke may limit visibility and cause difficulty breathing. Persons in Montana should travel east on I-90 or I-94 for at least 15 miles. Persons in Wyoming should travel south on U.S. Route 20 for at least 15 miles. No emergency shelters have been prepared at this time. Follow instructions given to you by civil authorities. To repeat, a fire warning has been issued for your area. Evacuate immediately. Travel east on I-90 or I-94 or south on U.S. Route 20 for at least 15 miles. No emergency shelters have been prepared at this time. Follow instructions given to you by civil authorities. Please remain calm. Your cooperation is appreciated.
37 confirmed deaths at this time. NATO is urging all nations, members or not to attack the unidentified aircraft following the disaster in Kabul. Despite these warnings, though, similar events involving both surface-to-air and air-to-air ordnance have occurred in Israel, India, and Australia, with alleged incidents yet to be confirmed in China, Russia, and North Korea. In all cases, weapons deployed are halted by an unknown beam emitted by the UFOs, partially or wholly disabled, then dropped to the ground, sometimes with their explosive payloads still armed. At this time, North Korea has threatened to escalate to the use of nuclear-capable missiles. President Kennedy has repeatedly urged for caution and patience in assessing the situation. Meanwhile, the number of unidentified aircraft around the world continues to rise, presently numbering between 2,000 and 2,200. Scientists at NASA have intercepted numerous radio transmissions between the UFOs and believe them to be a form of communication between the crafts. Though presently unable to translate them into understandable language, the world's top minds in the fields of radio, astronomy, and language are, quote, united in their mission to establish communication with the crafts. Meanwhile, the FBI has reported that religious fanaticism is on the rise in the United States and Europe, with a general belief that we are presently in the lead-up to Judgment Day. The end times are upon us. Long have I seen it in the hearts and souls of my congregation, the darkness slowly growing to envelop God's light. Long ago it was written that the Lord would one day send his servants down to earth to cleanse the battlefield in anticipation of his righteous war with the Prince of Lies. That all men would stand in judgment, and the righteous, the truly righteous, would ascend to the pearly gates in his loving embrace. Now look up, dear children, and see the angels that he is sent to judge us. For days they have watched us from above, and more appear every day, yet not one man has been called home. There can be only one explanation, my children. Judgment Day is at hand, and we have been found wanting. We are not worthy of the kingdom of heaven. But do not despair, my children. There is still time. We may yet redeem ourselves in the eyes of the Lord. When the great horn sounds, and all men are judged, even the foulest sinners amongst us may yet ascend to the Lord's kingdom, cleansed not in the tears of our repentance, but in the blood of the non-believers. Yes, we must show our devotion to the Lord by doing his will, and his will is to suffer not the followers of false gods, but to smite the heretics wherever they may hide. Be it in their homes or in their cradles, let them be washed away, leaving only the righteous, stained in his everlasting grace, to ascend to the promised land on the day of judgment. May his angels see the glory of our holy crusade. Today, my children, we fight on the side of the Lord.
This message is a broadcast of the emergency alert system. This is not a test. Information vital to your safety will soon follow. This message is broadcast at the request of the Salt Lake City Police Department. A law enforcement warning has been issued for Salt Lake City, effective immediately. As of 4 o'clock this afternoon, riots have broken out throughout Salt Lake City, causing damage to public and private property, looting of businesses and residences, and injury to participants, bystanders, and authorities. Numerous rioters are armed with firearms or other weapons, and are considered extremely dangerous. At this time, all residents of Salt Lake City are ordered to return to their homes immediately. A mandatory curfew is now in effect until further notice. Do not remain outside. Do not allow children or pets to remain outside. Any and all persons remaining outside will be subject to arrest. Close and lock all doors and windows. Turn off all lights and avoid exterior windows. Avoid drawing attention to yourself. For your own safety, do not allow strangers into your home. If an unknown person gains entry to your home, the use of lethal force to protect yourself and your loved ones has been authorized. Obey all orders given to you by civil authorities. Civil authorities expect to disperse the rioters and re-establish order in the affected areas within the next 4 hours. Please remain calm. Your cooperation is appreciated.
Leaving medical facilities in Dublin totally overwhelmed with cases of flash burns, retina damage, and blindness. In other news, temperatures continue to drop in major cities around the world as the skies overhead are filled with more and more UFOs, blocking out all light from the sun. The total number of aircraft at this time is estimated to be beyond 10,000, with none yet confirmed to have landed on the Earth's surface. In the U.S. alone, New York City, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New Orleans, Austin, Dallas, Nashville, Anchorage, and our own Boston are experiencing perpetual twilight throughout all hours of the day. This has caused increasing concerns about the ability of energy grids to illuminate and heat the major population centers of the world, leading to sharp increases in the cost of electricity, oil, and natural gas. Humans aren't the only ones being affected either. The EPA reports the disruption of day and night cycles, as well as abnormally low temperatures, are affecting wildlife in multiple parts of the United States, and likely the rest of the world. Animals are also being injured and blinded by the constant bombardment of high-intensity light from the unknown aircraft, with birds, insects, and nocturnal animals being particularly affected. Meanwhile, riots and acts of terror connected to religious extremism continue to unfold throughout the world. According to a report released this morning by the FBI, while individual beliefs vary, the most popular groups share the idea that the UFOs are or are piloted by angels, and that we are in or leading up to the rapture or equivalent world-ending event, and that adherents may earn their salvation through performing acts of violence upon non-believers. As it currently stands, Salt Lake City, Reno, and Denver have been engulfed by riots, with numerous smaller towns across the United States having been forcibly taken over by violent mobs or razed to
This message is a broadcast of the emergency alert system. This is not a test. Information vital to your safety will soon follow. This message is broadcast at the request of the Boston Police Department. A law enforcement warning has been issued for the city of Boston, effective immediately. An emergency situation is currently taking place. Multiple groups of armed assailants are currently attacking several municipal buildings throughout Boston, including Boston City Hall, Massachusetts General Hospital, the Boston Public Market, and the Boston Police Headquarters. At this time, all persons receiving this message are ordered to return to their homes or places of business immediately. A mandatory curfew is now in effect until further notice. Do not remain outside. Do not allow children or pets to remain outside. Any and all persons remaining outside will be subject to arrest.
preliminary reports from other parts of the country and Europe confirming that no unidentified aircraft can be located at this time. Eyewitness reports all state that following a bright light and exceptionally loud noise described as, quote, angel horns, all UFOs retreated into the sky at speed within minutes. The origin and cause of the noise is currently unknown, but scientists are presently working to triangulate its source. I have a guest with me today, a member of NASA's effort to understand the radio signals detected from the unknown crafts during the events of the past month. He claims that there has been a major breakthrough in this endeavor, but that it's being silenced by the government. Of course, due to the nature of this information, my guest's voice has been altered to preserve his anonymity. So, you say NASA's got some information about all this.
Yes, we had a major breakthrough just after the noise. We determined the source of the sound waves to be the Earth's atmosphere, caused by excited air and water particles, discharging, I guess you could say, in the form of electromagnetic waves, including visible light, and in kinetic movement. This kinetic movement predominantly affected the nitrogen that makes up around 80% of normal air, causing it to resonate at just the right frequency to produce a very loud, deafening sound throughout the world.
So the particles in the air acted sort of like a battery.
Exactly. It's the same reason why the sky appears opaque in full sunlight and you can't see the stars. The molecules in the air are excited by the electromagnetic radiation coming off the sun. They sort of charge up, getting warmer and moving around, and when they're full, they emit that energy as their own radiation, light, almost always at a lower frequency than whatever energy they originally received.
Sort of like those glow-in-the-dark toys that you have to hold up to a light bulb to charge up.
I would liken it more to an electrical capacitor, but yes, some fluorescent toys work on the same principle.
So what caused the air particles to get all charged up?
At the time of the noise, all our receivers and those of our colleagues in other parts of the world were bombarded with a high amplitude radio transmission, similar to the ones that we'd been picking up between the crafts. When I say that this transmission was off the charts, it was it was like a pulsar beam. In fact, it may have been a pulsar. It was so intense it directly affected the molecules in the atmosphere, leading to what we heard a few days ago.
And NASA was ordered not to reveal this information?
That is correct.
By who? The government?
Everybody on the project assumed it was the government, but I don't think they ever really identified themselves. These 20 or so men in black suits just walked into the lab like they owned the place, and I'm not sure they didn't, and demanded all of our recordings, all our research. Whatever they couldn't take with them, they destroyed. You might think they just put in orders for hard drives to be wiped and papers to be shredded, but when I say destroyed, these guys smashed our computers, our equipment, our cell phones, right there on the lab floor. There was broken glass and bits of circuitry everywhere.
Why do you think these, agents, for lack of a better word, did that?
Probably because of what we translated from that last big burst of radio waves.
You translated something?
Oh yes, we had just figured it out before they destroyed the lab. This last transmission, the big one, aside from overpowering all the others we'd been recording, was different in content as well. The transmissions we were getting between the UFOs were all slightly different depending on the craft. It made them hard to translate because, well, it was like they were all encrypted differently. But the big one, it was like the Rosetta Stone. It had every single encryption that we'd seen so far, plus a few more, and it broadcasted the same message on all of them. We only translated that one radio burst before the agents came. They threatened all of us and our families if we ever revealed what we learned. The way I see it, though, two men can only keep a secret if one of them is dead, and they'll find a way to get me eventually. I figured before they do, the world has a right to know.
Know what? What did it say?
Roughly translated, it said, the zoo is now closed.